All CadEnhance tools use configuration settings to store options and control tool behavior. For efficiency's sake, we'll refer to individual configuration settings as a CSET. A CSET is a variable used by the tool and can be used to store a file name or a directory or a list of items and values, or some kind of enable/disable function. The values of each CSET can be stored and loaded from the selected config file for a tool. In this video, we will explore how to work with the values of CSETs. Every tool has a config menu where the user can either open a GUI to access the values of all the available CSETs, or the user can search for a CSET that matches a string, which helps if they think they know the piece of a CSET name. The CSETs are arranged by categories, and there is a tab for each category. Some CSETs can be accessed in more than one tab. The tool itself controls the arrangement of CSETs into categories, and this may change with each new release of the tool. The tab for each CSET category contains a row for each available CSET in that category. Each row starts with a label containing the name of the CSET. The contents of each row changes depending on the function the CSET provides. The CSET may be presented as a file entry with a browse and edit button, a check button, a text entry, or a browse entry to let the user select from a restricted range of values. The user hovers over the label for a CSET. A help balloon will pop up describing what the CSET does and what the default value of that CSET is. Below we show a help balloon describing the function of the CSET named PWENB SIG prefix. The search for setting containing entry makes it easy to find a CSET that contains certain strings. Here we will enter power, sig name, and the tool will search all tabs for any CSET whose name contains those strings. We will then get a pop-up grid for all the matching CSETs, and it's easy to manipulate their values from here. With each release of the CadEnhance tools, there's a good chance that a new set of configuration settings have been added, and a smaller chance that some have been deprecated. Rather than struggle to maintain the documentation of these CSETs on the central documentation site, we added a button to let the tool create documentation for its own CSETs on the fly. This makes good sense because the tool will always have the best view of its own CSETs. There are several ways we can have the tool report its CSETs to the user. There is a Report Configuration Settings item in the Config menu and the Help menu, and the Report All Config Settings button in the Configuration Settings GUI will also produce the same report. When we enable reporting with one of these methods, the tool itself will create an HTML report of all known configuration settings and then open a web browser to display the report. Holding the Control key while pressing the minus key in a browser is a useful shortcut to let us zoom out to see more of the details of the report. Now let's look at the report. The tool version and build timestamp will be displayed at the top along with the currently selected config file. Following that is the Config Settings tab navigation table, which provides links to move to the selected categories of CSETs. The actual tables for each category follow in line. Each category table provides a back-to-top link in their title header row and in their footer row. This link will pop back to the top of the report to enable easy navigation to another category table. The category tables have multiple columns. At present, there is a column for the name of the CSET, a description for how it's used, the value of the CSET, and the type. The name and description are self-explanatory. The type refers to how the CSET is presented when added to the config settings grid. The value column is a little more interesting. It shows the current value and the default value. If the current value and the default value match, it displays both values on one line, and the row background uses the normal background color, which is gray in this instance. If the current value does not match the default value, the value column will show two sets of lines for the current and default values. The rows with non-matching values will be highlighted in a special color so they are easy to pick out. In this case, they are shown in a bright yellow-orange color. That wraps up a pretty good summary of working with CSETs in the CadEnhance tools. Thanks for watching.